Okay, deal some damage to you. Deal damage to you. Damage to you. There we go, okay. Sweet. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic, and we're playing a Dread Dryad deck. So Dread Presence is the main combo here in Dryad of the Ancient Grove. We are doing a Scapeshift Field of Dead deck, but don't click off. I know a lot of you guys hate the card, but that's not the main combo. That's just like an additional thing we can do. What we're really trying to do is with Dryad, you can play additional lands on each of your turns. All lands that you control are basic lands of every type. That means all of our lands are also basic swamps. So whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, you choose one, you draw a card, or lose a life, or you can deal 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. So with Scapeshift, we can sacrifice all of our lands, bring them all back. That's why it's worth at least having Field of Dead, because we're playing Scapeshift here. But the main combo that we're trying to go with is more along the Scapeshift side. And what we try to do is we want to get Crucible of Worlds, Dryad of the Ancient Grove, Dread Presence out, and if we have a Fable Passage that we can kind of sack, bring stuff back with, we can end up playing, like having 4 lands trigger per turn just with 1 of each of these. If we have 2 of each, it gets even better. So that's one side of the combo that we have. Otherwise, we have just a bunch of removal stuff, kind of to control the game out a little bit here. We have 3 copies of Corvold, which is a little bit weird, but with our Fable Passage, it can work out pretty well. This is kind of a pile of jank with a lot of fun built into it, okay? Which we do have the Scapeshift. It's Corvold with Scapeshift is really cool because we can sacrifice all of our lands, return a bunch of stuff, get a bunch of zombies, and if we have a Corvold out, we get to draw like 6-7 cards from the Scapeshift. So that was kind of the idea there. It's like, okay, we're already playing Scapeshift. We need to go into more colors because it's just easier to hit the lands that we need for Field of the Dead with Scapeshift. And with Dryad, it's not like it's going to hurt us too much. Like we really need to have Dryad to make this work with Dread Presence anyway. But yeah, otherwise just a lot of removal. I'm kind of like adding a couple pieces of removal here and there. 2 Murder Striders, 2 Verac's Contempt, 1 Ritual Soot, 2 Mono Cravings for all the Gruul aggro decks. Assassin's Trophy also destroys Field of the Dead, which is really nice. 1 Family of Eternity. I actually figured this would be, if we get to like 5 or 6 mana, this just shuts down Gruul aggro pretty well. Even at 4 mana, it could, destroy a lot of things. So that's what we're hoping for, is that this is a really good card against Gruul aggro, but I don't want to put too many into the deck. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, see how this one does for us, and yeah, wish me luck. Before we jump into the gameplay, a quick thanks to Fusion Gaming for sponsoring this video. Be sure to head over to FusionGamingOnline.com for all your Magic the Gathering needs. Check the link in the description below. All right, so I'm going to take this into a historic event. I just like the way that these events play. In the standard events, you tend to run into some beginner starter decks, but in historic, we should be running up against pretty good decks all around. And this also doesn't let me lose my mythic status now that I got there. I still will be playing a lot of fun stuff in there, but this deck, I think it's fun. I think it's good, but as soon as you get into ranked, you're only going to see like 2 or 3 decks of the same deck over and over again, so it's just not quite as much fun. All right, up against 1 Tata, bring it on 1 Tata, and well, we have some good removal. We have our colors that we're looking for. We have like a turn 4 Dryad. Hopefully we hit more lands. We can keep this. It's not amazing, but we can definitely keep it. We'll just grab our forest right away, pass the turn. See what we're up against. Okay. Let's just get down our tap land while we can. Pass the turn. We have Dryad and Dread Presence. Hitting another land would be great here. Diligent Excavator. Okay, so this is an infinite combo. We may want to hold up some removal at some point here. But I also want to get some ramp going. Let's Beanstalk Giant, grab, we need double black mana. Let's go ahead and grab a swamp. It'd kind of be nice to hold on to the swamps for now, but that's fine. We really need to make sure that we're ramping it at all to have a shot against this deck. Okay, Uro comes out, yep. Mills themselves. So this is, once they have, oh man. I'm trying to remember all the pieces. It's, what's the new 2-mana enchantment that lets him grab stuff? Everything has escape. If they find any Mox Ambers, which their hand could be full of Mox Ambers. Yeah, without hitting lands, this is really ugly. Like I'd like to be able to actually utilize everything right away. So I think instead we're just gonna hold up removal, kind of interact with their combo. So Assassin's Trophy can shut off their combo if they decide to go off with it. Okay, Tamiyo. Yeah. Okay, Mox Amber into the graveyard. Underworld Breach is the card I'm thinking of. How many things are in the graveyard right now? Alright, so Underworld Breach is in hand. Assassin's Trophy should kind of shut off everything. Yeah, I don't think we can play it out just yet. The Diligent Excavator, the issue is that they can just bring it back with Tamiyo, so it doesn't really matter. If we found another piece of removal, we'd be fine here. Okay, resolve. Well, we at least get something to target. Yay. We'll go ahead and Moment of Craving that. Gain some life. Yeah, go to my turn. We're gonna let them spend the turn with the... Oh, man. Okay, here we go. So... Dryad. Fable Passage. See, the nice thing here is that it can tap for mana that we need, so I don't actually need to... I can save the sack until later. So let's go ahead and pass the turn. We have an extra turn. This means that we should be able to kill the Diligent Excavator, or at least we have a good shot at it. Alright, they're already using Tamiyo. That's nice. Digging for what? Maybe another Underworld Breach? Mox Ambers, alright. Okay, Underworld Breach. I'm trying to remember what's the best thing. So it only works as long as this is on the battlefield. Let's hope they don't have Counterspell. A Diligent Excavator #2. We're just gonna go ahead and Assassin's Trophy the Underworld Breach. I think that stops the combo. I'm really not too familiar with this combo, exactly how it works. Corvold. Well, let's go ahead and swing in at Tamiyo. Man, if they just go off with the combo again, we're dead. I was hoping we'd find a bit more removal along the way. We can draw a card here. Maybe just hitting land would be good, worthwhile. Just grab something that's not their typical lands. Let's go ahead and we just draw a card. All right. Oh man, what can actually work for us here? Crucible Worlds gets us a ton of ramp. They bring back Underworld Breach. They have tons of cards in the graveyard. I think they just go off here and we're dead. Yep, Stone Coil Serpent. Yeah, I think this is game over. Yeah. So the way that this works is they get to play out the rest of their deck because as long as they have any historic spells, which are artifacts, anything like that, they mill themselves for 2. Now it's milled for 4. And then they have the Mox Amber to play for free. All they do is they have to exile 3 cards, but every time that they're milling 2 cards, they're able to do that just fine. Mox Ambers also give them mana so that they can play their Thassa's Oracle, or Thassa's Oracle, which finishes the game. So, all right, yeah, we'll call it a good game. Concede. we were having a lot of good pieces in our hand, and like the potential there. We just didn't draw the 5th land for a little bit. We have 26 lands in the deck, so we should be drawing into a few more lands, but sometimes we just run funky. All right, I like this. Crucible Worlds with Fabled Passage means that we consistently have mana. Yeah, I can keep this. We have removal for the annoying decks. I want to hope for just another land. I don't really want to thin ourselves out while we don't have to. So let's go ahead and just play the field. For some reason I was thinking that was Field of the Dead. That's an untapped land. Dang it. Oh, that's awkward. This is fine. Pass the turn. See what we're up against. Thought Erasure. Okay. Probably takes the Corvold. Ingrath is pretty bad as well. Takes Crucible. Okay, yeah, Crucible definitely has the most value while we have Fabled Passage. We could just not hit lands along the way. Let's get a Swamp. I'd rather at least have the access of Murderous Rider here. If they just play Teferi, though, it doesn't do much of anything, does it? Yeah, I guess not. I think I'm actually just going to play it out anyway. I think getting 8 threat out is nice. I don't know. Saving it for the other Teferis would be cool as well. We built our deck to be able to handle the Gruul aggro decks a little bit better.
I train ever. Hone your prowess.
Okay, neck 2. It's fine. Has the cast down. Okay, swing at Narset.
Fury will
We'll play Dryad, pass the turn. Let's hope they don't have the board wipe. I think I sequenced this a little bit wrong. I was thinking about just having Teferi, but there's other planeswalkers to be able to kill here. They're just gonna hold up the cast down. Man. All right, both at Narset. We pass the turn. We got nothing. Can't hit our lands. Yeah, cast down. We had a great hand. The Thought Erasure just really wrecked us here. If we could have gotten to the Crucible Worlds, that would have been such a nice hand. And we're drawing all of our stuff for other decks. We got a lot of really good answers for everything. It's not this. All right, pass the turn. We'll probably just run out, use the Field of Ruin to get our red mana. Yeah, gain some life back. That's cool. The nice thing about Corvold is that it does kind of beat a Dream Trawler to an extent. We'll just hit whatever. It doesn't really matter. Alright, try for Ingrath. Do they not have any basic lands? Oh my goodness. No basic lands? Now we need to find Assassin's Trophies. Okay, Field of the Dead. We're gonna run out Corvold, sack the Swamp because it doesn't... I mean, we... It mortifies. This is annoying. We still sacrifice something but don't get the draw trigger. So that was a good play. We had to try for something though. We have literally dead stuff in hand. This is... Alright, well, pass the turn. Assassin's Trophy is at least not terrible. Okay, Narset, fine.
I have practiced against many foes. Reckless.
Yeah.
I have just
As long as we have Field of the Dead, we're not out of the game. Tifri. Okay, my turn. Oh gosh. Just a handful of interaction for the wrong deck.
This is all with thoughtfulness before action.
3 fairy. We'll hold on to the Assassin's Trophy. It'll be nice to be able to hit this one.
I've got time.
The card draw there is not terrible. Now we're in trouble. Assassin's Trophy probably over the Scapeshift. Yeah, we're just so stuck on lands. Yeah, we just have a handful of things that aren't good against this deck. Pass the turn. I think this one's already over, though. It's probably been over. Having to sack a land was pretty bad. Maybe that is one issue with Corvold, is that if we don't have other things out to sack, it's really awkward with the Field of the Dead plan. But like I said, this isn't necessarily a Field of the Dead deck. And if we have the Crucible World, it's pretty good. Maybe I had 4 copies initially, and it seemed like too much. And I went down to 2. Maybe 3 was the better number. Maybe down 2 Corvolds, up 1. All right, swing at, I guess, this to Teferi while we can. Okay, Kai's Wrath. Pass the turn. If we can resolve Escape Shift, we're still potentially in here. I mean, they have tons of board wipes. But basically just getting to 7 lands is the main thing.
I've done the hero thing before.
Elder Spell. Ultimates to Fairy. Okay, yeah, that's game. Good play, good game. That's sad. Oh, Boulder Dash. We're gonna get a win. We're gonna do it. This deck is, when I was testing it out, I was doing pretty well. But I did change up a couple of things, and it all comes down to what we play against. I feel like you have to build so heavily for answers to Gruul Aggro, for mono white Gruul Aggro, all the aggro decks, that playing a typical normal deck just doesn't quite flow right. So 11-11, make a wish. All right, up against Lightbringer, Bring It On, which is a great book, by the way. We shall keep this. We have Crucible, we have Scapeshift, we have some removal. This really isn't amazing, but it's a keepable hand for sure. Now all we need is Fabled Passage, and we get some ramp going. Alright, up against Gruul Aggro. Now we drew all the pieces that aren't good in this matchup. Maybe not. Okay, pass the turn. We're not worried about the land morels. We'll just hit any threats. Spellbreaker would be annoying. Ooh. Okay, Forerunner of the Empire. Let's see what they hit here first. We may still want to kill this. Okay, Rampaging Raptors, or Raging Raptors. So it looks like they're just ramping again. Let's go ahead and... That just ramps them up anyway, doesn't it? Okay, let's pass the turn. Swings in. Temple of My Lady is pretty nice here. I'm going to go for another Assassin's Trophy. Dread Presence. It's another part of the combo. And again, Dread Presence with Dryad out and Scapeshift still does a lot. Pass the turn. And we have enough swamps so we can grab it even without having the Dryad out. So if we need a Dread Presence and then do it, we'll be fine. Tally. Yep, damage to each creature. Doesn't do it. Sad. Could have killed the Llanowar elves. I'm waiting to Assassin's Trophy just in case they have another Llanowar. I can't steal creatures for a turn, which would be kind of nice against this deck with Ingrath. We need to start playing out something. I could go Dread Presence, Scapeshift on the next turn, just hope they don't have removal. Scapeshift kills like most of their board. Let's go Dread Presence, pass the turn. It's also a decent blocker against some stuff. Slows them down a bit. We still have Assassin's Trophy for the next turn. Raging Raptors, if they bring it out and they use the ability, Llanowar Elves dies. Love it. Okay, ooh. Alright. Now what do we do? Okay, we played Dryad. Let's kill... Let's just kill the Forerunner. Grab a swamp, I guess. Drawing cards would also be pretty nice. Maybe it would have been better to draw cards. We could kind of get a gotcha moment here. Swing in. If they block with everything, we can at least kill two things. Maybe it slows them down enough to be useful. Maybe not. Alright, just takes it. Down to 15 past the turn. We also have lots of life gain possibilities. We're in okay shape. The worst thing would just be losing this guy. Okay, Galta comes out. Swings in. No blocks. Stealing Galta seems pretty good. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. It doesn't have a limit, right? Alright, sweet. Alright, man. I mean, there's a lot of really fun ways to win here, but the best way to win has gotta be stealing their Galta.
Here be monsters.
It gains haste, I believe, as well. Yeah.
Your crew for my freedom.
Stealing your Galta, that is the best way to win. I love Ingrath so much. It's a fun card. Yeah, keep this, drop Scapeshift. We at least have some interaction. As long as we draw into, even if it's just our lands, we get to Ingrath, Corvold eventually, maybe. It might not be bad. The other thing too is, like, if one of these lands was a Fabled Passage as well, we could also just be looking for Dryad, and all of a sudden, or I guess we have Crucible and Dryad, but then we start actually having a chance to play Magic, get lands out. A third Scapeshift, not really what we wanted there. All right, my turn. Fabled Passage. I might not crack it. Even if we have a 3-drop, I don't think we are going to be doing anything other than just like holding up removal. They're going to hold up counter spells for forever. Let's go ahead and... I guess we can have him counter the Assassin's Trophy, and maybe we can get an Angrath or something else in. Pass the turn. Got a whole lot of nothing going on at the moment. So I'm not going to crack the Fable Passage because I don't want to thin the deck. We are going to try for the Assassin's Trophy here. It would be really good to get rid of this. Yeah, Wizard's Retort. Figures as much. Alright, we have a turn to get something down. Unfortunately, we don't get to our 5 drops yet. Try to hit a land. See, if we sacked it, though, we wouldn't have that on top, so it doesn't really matter. We'll go ahead and sack it now. Grab a... We can grab a basic land here. Let's just grab a forest. Pass the turn. We're basically out of the game now. This deck is really difficult to play against. They have so many counter spells, and we actually have a lot of instant sorcery, so their spell pierces are going to kill us. They're drawing 2 cards a turn, doing 4 points of damage a turn. I think we're in trouble, and that's probably going to spell it the end of it for us. We got the combo off one time, though, and it was pretty phenomenal. Well, I guess it wasn't even the combo. It was just stuff. So I'll probably scoop here in just a couple turns and then play a free play game just to try to get the combo off. Yeah, they have answers for days. They can counter our Beanstalk Giant, which would be brutal, man. Alrighty, let's go to free play. Yeah. Free lands, we can get green mana. Once we have Dryad out, everything taps normally. So it's not terrible. Assassin's Trophy's dead, Murder Strider's dead, though, unless we stick this. I'd hate to mulligan here, though. I don't think that would be much help. We have a Fabled Passage, which is a big part of what we're looking for. I guess I don't need to crack this now. Oh well, grab a forest, pass the turn. Up against mono white, black mana. Nope. Okay, Field of the Dead out, pass the turn. Johnny's Pride Mate, that's fine. Unfortunately, our Dryad also gives them the mana. Field of Ruin's also kind of dead against them. Okay, Dryad, as long as we keep Dryad alive, we have a shot. Ross's Contempt is pretty nice. Oh, that's right, we get another land. Sweet, alright, that's good. Heliod. Alright, no block, so we can Murder Strider the Pride Mate, and then Heliod, or Ross's Contempt the Heliod later. Red Presence, gain a bunch of life. We draw lots of cards, hand gain life. I think we just need to be defensive here for a bit. What do the odds they have some sort of protection? There's really not much protection in the deck, is there? Alright, just pass the turn. Ross's Contempt is an answer for Heliod. It can at least stop him. Thalia. That's fine. We can still play this. Okay, Thalia gets bigger. Uh-huh. Alright, let's just Murder Strider the Pride Mate. I guess I should have waited just to see if they put another counter onto him instead, but I think with Thalia out, they're not really going to go for that. Should have gone for Dread Presence there. Okay, I think we just passed the turn. We'll go for the Assassin's Trophy. Linden. Never mind, we're gonna Assassin's Trophy that now. Wait till they start going to attacks. Now Linden dies. This just turns off Heliod for the attack. Swings in. No blocks. Alseid of Life Bounty is kind of annoying here as well. Okay. Gain some life. We'll go ahead and try for this. I'm assuming it gets... Yeah, they sack here. And no attacks. They still have 3 pips. We're in trouble. That's for sure. We're in trouble. There is some potential that we can get a decent Scapeshift. Like stay alive, Scapeshift, hit a ton of stuff. And maybe that's enough. A Pride Mate, gain some life. Any other spell that gets a pip. Pips, I mean by the little white symbol. All right, gonna just gain life here with Thalia. No blocks. Give it life gain. Yep. Land would be the bestest thing possible here. If we could just hit land, get to our Field of the Dead triggers with all this Dread Presence-ness. Okay, there we go. Sweet, we did it. We should be able to come back now. Okay, bring in it tapped. Let's hit Soul Warden first. Because it's a little bit awkward with some of the other stuff. All right. Scapeshift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll go ahead and go for the 7. We need as many triggers for this as possible. Fable Passage, Rootbound, Swamp, Field of the Dead. We have Scrylands here. Temple. We'll go ahead and grab a Blood Crypt, which is tapped. Okay, so let's see what triggers first. So we should have Dread Presence trigger first. Okay, so alright, as long as some of them trigger first. Okay, deal some damage to you. Deal damage to you. Damage to you. There we go, okay. Sweet. Oh, that's so beautiful. So the Soul Warden, if we had let all of the zombies come out first, Soul Warden would have gained a ton of life before we actually had all of this triggers. They would have been able to put counters onto stuff beforehand. So that did work out, and we got the deck to work out. Sorry that there were some pretty terrible games beforehand, but that happens sometimes. I like to play very raw for you guys, just really like this is what the decks do. And I'm trying all the fun stuff rather than just, you know, boring all things. And I do think this has a lot of good pieces. The hardest part is what meta games, like what decks do you build against? And then if you had a sideboard, you could build against multiple decks. But I think when you build this way, okay, I have to have a lot of stuff for creature decks. Assassin's Trophy can hit a lot of things. Murder Strider can hit a lot of things. But we have Moment of Creating, we have Triad the Canarian, we have Ritual Soot, all just completely dead cards against control. And we just happen to run against a few control decks that just destroyed us. And it's really bad. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.